Hey, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor, and if you're anything like me, you might be chronically online. And by chronically online, I mean constantly on TikTok. And if you are constantly on TikTok, then you as well are constantly fed TikTok shop ads. In my experience, for me at least, there's really only like 3 items that are constantly being fed to me. One of them I'm sure everybody has seen, and that is the crop tuck. The crop tuck. If you haven't heard of it, you're so lucky. At one point, I think my TikTok feed was literally just the crop tuck. I was like, oh, that's cool, and I looked into it, and I'm pretty sure it's like $10. Why would I spend $10 when you can make the exact same thing? As well as that, those pet cradle things, TikTok clearly knows that Shadow likes to live inside of my hoodies, and I thought that was really cute, so I figured we could try to do that. Now, like, the new thing on TikTok is, I feel bad for everyone who got this for $12 because now it's cheaper than a Big Mac, or now it's cheaper than XYZ. Relax. I don't care if it's cheaper. I can make that, and you can too, and we're gonna do it together. So let's get started. First on the list is the crop tuck. Well, basically what the crop tuck is it's an elastic band with pulleys to change like the width, and then you put it around your waist and then you tuck your shirt into it. I am missing one part that is kind of a little bit necessary just because like it like kind of holds the end of the elastic, but I have my elastic here. I got an absolutely exorbitant amount. I don't need this much, so I think I'm going to cut this in half so I can make 2 of them. So during the pandemic, I made a ridiculous amount of masks. I also bought these, which are literally, the exact same pulleys that is used on the crop tuck. I figured eventually if I really like this, I could dye the elastic band, because I know that is the only thing that is different from this, from mine than theirs, is like their colors on here coordinate with this. Basically, you want to make a loop like this and put one pulley all the way down at the end here with these 2 in it, and then one here with these 2 in it. So then basically you can pull it, like, if I can feed this through my fingers correctly, like this to be looser, this to be tighter. You see what I'm saying here? So I've been thinking about this for days because I've just been thinking of a logistic way to do this. How the heck are we gonna get these things on is the great question. First, I'm gonna pick out 2 colors. Everyone knows my favorite color is purple, but I'm gonna switch it up today. I'm gonna do this fun blue color. I love this blue too. When I hold my elastic here and I look at it doubled, clearly I think one needs to go on each end, and then you just feed this through the opposite hole. When you push these down, there's a channel. You want to go in between this top hole, not the bottom, but the top, because then when it's shut, it holds it in place. Taking this, I'm going to feed it through one side. Okay, that's one on. Now, I'm just going to keep holding this like this so I can see. So this one needs to be on the top, and likewise this. Okay, so again, pushing this down and feeding it through the hole. Now is this part, feeding the opposite ends in. So, and voila, we basically made it. Now it's not complete, so the main thing that's also different from mine is I don't have the tabs to hold this together, so I'm just gonna tie a knot. It's fine, I'm just gonna tie a knot. And then I think we'll be good, at least for now. Eventually I'll probably try to get those like little tab things, but basically they're like a pressure thing that you just clamp it on the end. Usually metal, but I think on theirs it's like plastic, but a knot will do just as good. A knot will do plenty as good. This is done. This literally took me 5 minutes to make. I can't believe it's that easy. So I will show you now that it works. I'm just gonna step into it. Boop. So, here we have the crop tuck, and this is a pretty good size for me. Just gonna pull it a little bit tighter here, a little bit tighter there. So voila, and then basically you just take your shirts. I am wearing two, but that's fine. And you tuck it under the band. It's a little bit harder than it looks. A little bit of zhuzhing. Holy shit, I freaking did it. I can't believe how easy this is. Okay, don't waste your money on TikTok Shop. You can literally make this. On to the next one. So the next item that is constantly being advertised to me on TikTok Shop is those pet slings. So I went to Joann's and got this lovely plush blanket material fabric. And it does kind of fray, so I am a little concerned about this one. We're basically gonna sew a giant circle out of this. Here we have my machine. Oh, reliable. This is my Brother XR9550. I love this machine. She's been with me for a few years now. I'm going to rethread this with some purple thread, and we are going to zigzag up the sides and then make some channels for the elastic. Okay. We are all set to sew up our sides, so I am going to start that now. So I'm just doing a very large zigzag stitch. Welcome to the floor. I have this right side facing down. As you can see, it's shedding literally all over my leggings. I zigzag stitched all the edges, so hopefully that will stop. But now what we are going to do is I'm going to fold all these edges over and clip them, and then I'm going to pin them with enough room, about this much, for the elastic band to go through. And I think this is about an inch, maybe an inch and a half. We're going to do that on all the sides, and then we will get to sewing again. So before I continue on, I do have one entire side, the edges are at least clipped. Now I'm going to take some pins and I'm going to make sure that I fold over just enough to cover this 1 inch elastic that I have. Okay, so I'm just kind of holding this here just so I can kind of see where it's going to be. Flipping that over. Now we are going to pin this in place because this is definitely thick enough for our elastic to get fed through. Next step is some light pinning, and then we will do the same thing to the other side and do a straight stitch along this edge with the clips. So I've successfully sewn everything. It is a little twisted, but whatever, it's fine. This is the outside that you're looking at. The inside is this. Next, we are going to get the elastic and situate that. Feed it in, figure out what size we want it to be. Like when people are on TikTok, they wear them like this and it's all like scrunched, but actually maybe this is actually perfect size. So putting my right sides together, that's like this. And then making sure obviously that my little tube would fold perfectly in half, which it will. That way you're not twisted or whatever when you sew it. I'm gonna sew in between these two edges, so from here to right here where my fingers are. That way when I get the elastic fed in, it's gonna be a little easier to attach it all. So now we are basically almost there. We have a tube, but now we have to feed in our elastic. Here is my elastic. This is actually like a ton of elastic. So, okay, so cutting this in half. And now, so I have one of these. If you don't know what this is a loop turner. Basically what this is it's usually to take tubes of fabric and inside them out. But instead of putting a safety pin on the end of this and like feeding it through, so change of plans. We are going to hook this on. We are hooked in. Now I'm gonna try my best to push this because I forgot that since it's in a loop, I can't just go straight through my edges. Yeah, we're just gonna push this all the way through. Alright, my battery's dying. I'm gonna finish feeding this through, attach my elastics, and then my project will be done. And now we are at the end of this video. So before we do our little conclusion outro, I just wanted to show this is the final product of the pet sling. I probably could have done this a little bit better and made it like skinnier on the strap and then open up and then back skinny, but this does its job. It works great. I tried it out with Shadow, which you can see now. You're fine. Look at Bear. Mommy can hold you now. I think it's fair to say, considering it was Shadow's first time in it, she's not the biggest fan of it, but I think it'll grow on her as most things do. Because I sewed this part together shut first, these parts aren't shut, which, I mean, I'm probably personally not gonna shut them in case I need to do any adjusting or whatever, but if it bothers you, this is something you could easily hand stitch shut. That's what I would do, just so then that way you don't ruin the tunnel that the elastic moves through. So if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to let me know in the comments below maybe which was your favorite DIY. I honestly think that the crop tuck is like the most realistically usable one. I mean, I wanted to buy it and then I made it, so now I don't need to buy one. And I have enough materials to make a second one, so I'll probably will make a second one eventually, but I know that I will get a ton of use out of that. If you'd like to see a continuation on this video, maybe I DIY other viral TikTok shop items, be sure to comment them down below. I definitely already have one in mind. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!